I am José Cordeiro, the author of the global bestseller The Death of Death and director of the Millennium Project. Well, we humans are very versatile and we adapt to everything. 2,000 years ago, at the time of the Roman Empire, life expectancy on average was 20 years. I could be dead 3 times over. And I am not dead and I don't plan to die, so we adapt also. Before we are born, we don't know anything about the world and we adapt to the world. And we will adapt also to very long lifespans because life is beautiful, especially if it is without disease and if you stay healthy and young, which is the goal. Well, I think there are more opportunities than problems. Because the goal is to rejuvenate and to be at a biological age between 20 and 25. When you are that age, you are full of excitement, you want to discover things, you want to travel, you want to learn, you want to create. So I think only opportunities. And I repeat, if you are healthy and young, you will want life, better life, more life. And there are so many things we will do if we can stay young forever, if we can stay young indefinitely. Well, I think everybody should have a longevity passport. So everybody has to grab this opportunity, this incredible moment to begin rejuvenating thanks to the new technologies. And of course, we need to adapt to this because once we become very longevous, we will take more care of the environment because we are going to be here in a century, in 2 centuries. So the world will be cleaner. Also, it will be safer and more peaceful because if we live here forever, we don't want wars. We don't want a dirty environment. We want a peaceful planet. So I am convinced that we are going to become more tolerant and more peaceful. I believe that the first person that will be immortal is already born, and not only one person, but millions of people, because if you are under 70 years of age, we should be able to rejuvenate you in the next 2 decades. We expect that by 2045, in 20 years from now, we will be able to reverse aging, to rejuvenate people. So that will radically change everything. So up to age 70, we think we will make it to immortality. And this is a fantastic opportunity for all of us. And you will be able to get your immortality passport, to get your immortality therapies, and they will also be free. This will be like the COVID vaccine, which is not an example because it was not good or fast, but it showed that medicine can advance and it will continue advancing. Shorter times for better medicines. And it will be paid by Social Security, which is important. This is not just for millionaires or billionaires. This is for everybody, because if the COVID vaccine, again, not good, was free, imagine now the good vaccine for longevity. It will be part of Social Security for everybody. Once we become immortal, family, marriage will change, because right now marriage is until death do us apart. That's a very, very long time if you are immortal. So I think marriage will be a 10-year or 20-year renewable contract, enough to grow a family and the kids, and then you can try again and try again. Some people will like to stay together forever. Like in the case of my parents, they were together all the time. But some people might want to experiment more, and this seems to be the trend. Today, there is a trend to have more experiences, more partners. So this is a possibility of the future. I don't know what will happen, but I can guarantee you it will be fun. Once we live longer and longer, we will need to begin to learn new things, to reinvent ourselves. So we will have many careers, not just one. Maybe you began working in agriculture, or maybe you began working in a legal company as a lawyer, or maybe you were a medical doctor, or maybe an engineer. I am an engineer and I am reinventing myself. In the future, we will reinvent ourselves every 20 to 30 years. We will learn new things and we will continue growing as human beings with many possibilities in the future. Life learning will be the rule. It will be the normal thing because we will need to reinvent ourselves continuously. Even To give you an example, in my case, I graduated as an engineer 40 years ago. Even the things I learned 40 years ago are obsolete today. So we need to keep on learning continuously to reinvent ourselves. And this is beautiful because learning new things is always good. It keeps you active, it keeps you creative, and it keeps you full of energy.
Yeah.
All technologies are moving faster and faster, and they are spreading throughout the world also faster and faster. We can see that with mobile telephones, we can see that with computers, and new technologies coming up. Artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. Everybody throughout the planet has access to ChatGPT today. So we will leapfrog many old technologies, like talking about old technologies in Africa. In many places, they had no telephones. Now they have cell phones. They also didn't have energy supplies. Now they have solar power. So they are leapfrogging, and the same will happen in terms of longevity, like COVID. COVID was a good example because, again, it's not an example of the vaccine, but it is an example of what will happen in terms of technology and spreading throughout the planet. And people in India, in Africa, in North America, South America, in Europe, everywhere, get the vaccine in 1 year. This is incredible. And this will happen for longevity therapies. Everybody will have access to them very quickly. While talking about ethical issues, in the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, the first right is the right to life. And it should be not only the first right, but the second right and the third right, because you are not alive, then you don't have property, you don't have liberty, you don't have anything. So the most important fundamental right is the right to life. So this is what we need to talk about. And in terms of technology, or this is health, like we want to cure cancer. I think everybody wants to cure cancer. Everybody wants to cure Alzheimer's. Everybody wants to cure cardiovascular disease, etc., etc. So what we need to cure is aging, because aging is the mother of all chronological diseases, so chronic diseases. So if we stop aging, we stop all chronic diseases. So the big enemy, the big elephant in the room is not cancer, it's not Alzheimer's, it is aging. And we are very close to curing aging, and that is what we should focus. And again, it is the most ethical, moral thing we can do. That is why I work only now on longevity internationally, and my book is a bestseller in 12 languages, originally in Spanish, it is in English, it is in Russian, it is in Chinese, it is in Bulgarian, it is coming out in Slovenian. So it is coming out all over the world. I am really excited. Also, so that people understand this, I have a global campaign that I did from Madrid. And why Madrid? Well, first, because I live in Madrid. But second, because in the European Union, Madrid has the longest life expectancy in the continent. 86.1 years. That is life expectancy today in Madrid at birth. So that is very high. And so I have a campaign, and I have a big event, which is called International Longevity Summit. And we go throughout Madrid with balloons and flags and banners that say, stop aging. In Spanish, stop envejecimiento, stop aging. So this is a campaign so that people understand this is real, this is scientific, and this is coming very soon, very soon. We can cure aging if people understand that this is really scientific and it is coming soon. Yes, I think living longer and living more intelligently will redefine what it means to be human. So it is not only life extension, but also life expansion. Life expansion. In 10 years, we will have the first human colony in the moon, and probably also on planet Mars. This will radically change everything, and also what it means to be human, and for the better, because we will be more longevous, more intelligent, and I would say even happier. Right now we have several therapies that are beginning. There are many in human clinical trials, but for example, something that is very good and it doesn't cost anything is autophagy. Autophagy is not to eat for 3 days so that your good young cells eat the weak, old, and cancerous cells. So I recommend everybody to not eat for 3 days, because then you will get rid of cancer that is beginning, some tumors, and also old cells that you don't want. So this is good, and again, this is cheap. In fact, you save money for 3 days. But besides this, there will be many other things coming up very soon. One therapy is called senolytics, which in fact is to get rid of old cells in the body, and we now are beginning to understand how to do this, and there are some gene therapies and some cell therapies. But this is just beginning, and it's going to be democratized soon, and the cost will go down very fast and very quickly. And I repeat, this will be part of social security. This will be for everybody, and it will be good. It will not be like the COVID vaccines, okay? So get ready for a fantastic future of exponential technologies, because people need to understand that this is exponential. When I went to university 40 years ago, I used this with computers. These were the IBM punch cards. We had to make little holes on this. This is 10 by 100. 10 by 100 is 1000, 1K. This was 1K of memory. And once you made holes, you could not change it. And so the first electromagnetic memories were invented. This is an example. This was also 1K, but this you could erase because it is electromagnetic. In Spanish, we say the letter K, K. So this is 1K mechanical, and this is 1K electromagnetic. So in Spanish, 1K plus 1K makes 1 kk. 1 kk of memory. I used this at MIT, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I began computers with kk. Then kk moved to 512 kks. 512 kkas. That was a big improvement. Then we moved to these ones, which were 1.4 mega. 1.4 mega. But now, here I have a pen drive of 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte. In 40 years, we have moved from kaka to terabytes. And this keeps on moving exponentially, faster and better. And now this is being applied to biology and medicine. That is why also computer science and artificial intelligence will help us to cure the aging problem, which is the most ethical thing that we can do. So everybody, read The Death of Death, also because I'm donating the book rights of this book to scientific discovery about aging, so that you don't die. This is a fantastic time to be alive. We are between the last mortal generation and the first immortal generation. So where do you want to be?